Hi, it's me, OGDuffy, back with another Versus video. Now, this week we're looking at an Ocean Software title. Now, those in the know and remember back from the day, Ocean Software generally got the titles for a lot of coin-op conversions and movie tie-ins. Okay, so we're looking at a movie tie-in this week. Now, 1986 gave us some amazing films. We had Top Gun.
I feel the need for speed. Ow!
We had Aliens.
Get away from her, you bitch!
We had Platoon.
I think now, looking back.
All those great films. And then we had this, Cobra, by Sylvester Stallone, where he claimed crime was the disease and he was the cure.
The disease, and I'm the cure.
Or some such nonsense. Now, those that remember from back in the day, this was not Stallone's greatest moment. It featured him protecting his then missus, Bridgette Nielson. I've often wondered to myself how they got on with the height difference. But him and Bridgette Nielson were married, and they starred in this together. And he had to protect her from some dodgy geezer who had ideas of taking over the world with his New World Order or something like that. And I think he was called Night Slasher or Slasher Man, I don't know, something like that. Anyway, this film was not the greatest, as you probably realised. But I'm dedicating this week's to a good friend of mine, a personal buddy of mine, Mr. Alan Belsey. This one's for you, buddy. And the reason being, he does like a B movie or two. Anything featuring sharks and tornadoes and high numbers are very high on his movie list.
It was awful bloody film.
So he's going to kill me for that. But anyway, you're round, buddy. So here we go. We're going to look at the usual suspects with this one. It was only ever released, thankfully, on 3 systems. And they were the ZX Spectrum, the Commodore 64, and the Amstrad CPC. So we're going to take a look at them 3 versions of this game. Now, before we get into this, a quick reminder. Remember, people, this Sunday, my new series that's going to go alongside on the channel, the Arcade Endings series, starts on Sunday. So make sure you tune in, comment, let me know your thoughts on that one. And again, any suggestions for arcade game endings I should be looking at. So, without further ado, let's get into this, which is Cobra. Enjoy. Well, those that watch the channel will know on these Versus videos, we usually kick things off by looking at the arcade version so we can compare the various systems. Now, obviously, this was done by Ocean Software, who did plenty of coin-op conversions, but they're also quite famed for doing movie tie-in games or film licenses, and this was one of theirs. That's why we're only comparing on the 3 systems this week, because it was only ever released, thank God, on the 3 systems. So from that, I think you can ascertain this was not my favourite game. It's basically a platformer, run and jump sort of thing, and as you can see from this one, this is the Amstrad. Very colourful, you know, had that quite irritating tune running throughout. Didn't play particularly fast, but wasn't too bad, I suppose, if this was your thing. But to me, it just didn't hold my attention. This was just, you know, very basic game. So you go along, get your different weapons, and strangely with this, although it was out on all 3 of the systems, all 3 versions literally did not follow the same game pattern. They all like their own little unique games on their own, if you know what I mean. So quite a strange title this week. But don't fear if you're missing your arcade comparisons, because this Sunday the new season of Arcade Endings will be dropping on the channel, so do check it out. Now, in a rare moment, OGDuffy is going to stay quiet for a little bit so you can enjoy this loading music from the Commodore 64 version, because this is as good as it gets, unfortunately. So this is the gameplay now. as you can see, it was a very mundane game for the C64. I mean, the graphics didn't look as colourful or as bright to me as the Amstrad version, and again, it was a very slow game to play, and it was just a very, very poor conversion. I don't really know. Well, not conversion, you know, it was a game in its own right, but I really thought Ocean could have done something a bit better with this. So, as you can see here, this is sort of the different levels. I mean, the backdrop on this level didn't look too bad, but the gameplay just didn't change. It was just awful gameplay, really, to be fair. And in all fairness, on all three versions we're looking at, it's probably one of the worst game experiences I've had on my Versus videos. But we conclude by taking a look at the ZX Spectrum version. Now, straight away, I have to say, the graphics on this, right, were not too bad. I quite like the little sprites on this. I thought they were quite well drawn. I thought the animations were good. I thought it scrolled okay. And in terms of a game, out of the ones I looked at, it played at a decent speed. Don't get me wrong, none of these versions were at all original in their makes. They were just all very much sort of platform run and gun type game, if you like. His move on this one, on the Spectrum, was a headbutt. Quite why he couldn't use his fists or his arms and legs was beyond me. I don't really know. And what is it with these prams whizzing around? I don't know what that was all about. It's obviously a reference to the film. But to be honest, the film, I did see it back in the day, but it's one of them that's been put well and truly out of my mind. Because it has no real memories for me. So if you can remember what the prams were about, let me know in the comments. Also, as always, people, let me know in the comments whether you played this, whether you remember it. And here we go, listen to this. I think that's just a Spectrum showing off its sound chip. Hey ho. That concludes the gameplay of the three versions of Cobra. What a game, eh? What a movie. But all in all, folks, before we come to my verdict and my conclusions, as always, if you don't already do so, please do hit that subscribe button, because it makes me a happy man, but you already know that. And let me know in the comments your thoughts and opinions about my verdict. Did I get it right? Did I get it wrong? And your memories of the film and the game, as always. So let's get into it. Here's the verdicts. Now, I have personal memories of this. I only played it on the Commodore 64, okay? And my memories were the loading tune was pretty good, but that was pretty much it. So, in a rare decision on my Versus video, here we go with the where I think they lined up them three versions. And in a rare situation, Commodore 64 has come in last. Yes, it does happen, and it has just happened. Sorry, Commodore owners, don't be hating on my video for me. It was just an awful game, wasn't it? Oh, come on, guys, you can't defend this one. It was pretty ropey. So I'm sorry, Commodore fans. You're in third position, and in second, I gave it to the Amstrad CPC. Okay, better than the C64 version, but obviously it goes to the Spectrum and not as good as the Specky version, which we'll come to shortly. It was a poor game. It was a platform run and jump sort of game, and we've seen this so many times. But the Spectrum version, to be honest, although the game wasn't original, it was still done very well. I enjoyed the graphics. I thought they looked half decent, and it didn't play too well. 3 levels in total on the Specky version, but all in all, the Specky version takes it. It was an absolutely awful film in my opinion, but one on the Specky which wasn't too bad all in all. Alright, so that's my verdict. Don't be hating on the video. Give me a like though, and if you don't already do so, subscribe and let me know in the comments. Do you agree or disagree? And what are your memories of this film and your memories of these versions of the game? Did you own it and play it back in the day? If so, how disappointed or how happy were you? Anyway, that's been me, OGDuffy, with another Versus video. Stay well, stay good, have a great week, and I'll see you all next week. And don't forget, this Sunday, I am giving you my new little series of arcade game endings. So make sure you watch that one. Anyway, I've been OGDuffy. Stay safe, look after yourselves, and I'll see you next week. Cheers. If you watch the video and you like what you see, don't forget to subscribe for more great videos. Thanks for watching.